In the Royal Rogue, we talk about a pair of, people that are ensemble, both, let's say, part of the spectrum, of the narcissistic spectrum. Both of them are narcissists, but let's say in their own way. We know Meghan, it's all about the attention, and especially the part in which she is a grandiose narcissist. At least this is not a diagnosis. Okay, this is not a diagnosis, but you have to understand that at some point, this kind of stuff happens, and you see, for one split second, the true nature of this relationship lately. And this has not happened all the time. Let's say that this happened with a less frequency, say 3 years ago, 4 years ago. It was not as bad. Let's say that 6 years ago was this idyllic romance, and it was so great. But it's as if lately we see more mask slips. And again, it's hard to say when you have only one image. It would be way easier if we had a video, especially right now that any image can be manipulated. We have so many tools of AI that can be produced, generated. But in some cases, we see this, and I'm going to isolate Meghan's eyes. And I'm going to isolate Meghan's eyes for a reason. Because I owe Meghan a lot. I have to say that, right? It's, that basically I built a YouTube career thanks to Meghan, never attacking her personally, making fun of her shenanigans, of course, of what she got into. She got herself into all that, but sometimes it was about body language. And sometimes we go back to those roots of talking about Meghan's body language, because this is the perfect example that you can tell just from the eyes of a person what is their state of mind. What are they feeling? How are they feeling about the person that they're talking to? Maybe not. I'm going to give Meghan one pass here. Maybe it's not that she is angry at Harry, but she is talking about something that angers her. Maybe something that was unfulfilled. Maybe WME did not, maybe they did not fulfill some kind of, some part of their PR contract for this event. You know that they are at Invictus Games. The only thing that Harry has more or less under his belt. And even so, you see this displays that is that Meghan that we used to see sometimes, just a glimpse. And the problem is that way too many times we see a video in which Meghan is all well, all smiles, doing great, everything is fine, and all of a sudden you change to this. There are a couple of things that I want to highlight in here. For example, this shared by Lean Mean Machine, Meghan Narcissist 1, Meghan Markle Creepy Nuts. Again, I said, what? Wait a second. At first I thought, is this real? No, it cannot. This must be some kind of montage. But the thing is that Lean Mean Machine, I've seen her work for some time, and I follow her work for some time. And no, the idea of Lean Mean Machine is more or less what the Royal Rogue does. Is that if we're going to make a meme or something with AI, we're going to make sure that it's outrageous so people do not mistake that for the real deal. I think that is important. That is another conversation that we should have about AI. And that is something that I have been very careful in terms of memes and stuff. Make sure that when I do something, that I make a montage or made a video that I used to be make videos, meme or humoristic comedy videos about Meghan and Harry. make sure that people know that that is simply not true. That doesn't exist. Okay, this is AI, and at some point I began putting some this huge watermarks, but I mean this is a bit concerning. This is a bit concerning in many ways, and it's like this. Okay, this it's like this. Okay, it's like IHT Anders 12. IHT Anders 12, in which has become one of my favorite memes lately. And the thing with Meghan and Harry is that they have become relevant, perpetually relevant in a way so as to what not to do with your PR. That is a textbook example of what not to do in every single scenario. And the more things they do, it's the worse it gets. I'm going to skip a picture here because she's next to a child. I had modified. I'm going to wait a second until I edit. Okay, I already modified this. I want to make sure that I have modified this picture because she's using Instagram now. She has become the Duchess of Instagram now, and she's using her Instagram and her Instagram stories and everything. And look at her, how cute, with a kid, and sharing all this on her Instagram. I don't know if the kid's parents gave permission. I made sure to blur the kid's face. That's something that you need to do on YouTube, by the way, to make sure that every kid remains anonymous. And you see that I don't really like to talk about Meghan's kids. I think that's not the point of my channel whatsoever. But I mean, I'm following her, and you know that I began following her from Sunday. That I was doing that special Royal Rogue live, and the moment that I follow her. I did follow her, CW. I followed her on Sunday when I was with the Royal Rogue Live. And the moment I follow her on Instagram, my Instagram is the Body Language Guy, by the way, if you want to follow me on Instagram. The moment I follow her on Instagram, my mouse ran out of batteries. Now I have my it's a trackball. I use this. I don't want to mess up. I use a trackball. I had it disconnected for some time, so I guess that it began losing power, but it lost all battery the instant I began following her. Something happened, so it was a bit odd. It was a bit odd too that it happened, but I'm following her, and I activated all notifications, and now I have all her notifications on. So if Meghan just moves one finger on Instagram, I know. Some other things I didn't comment that day, I failed to comment, is that yes, it was an outrage that she moved this lady on a wheelchair without the lady's permission, and that is a no. That is bad manners, that is dangerous, that in many ways you are treating people like if they were an object. And people were criticizing her because of that. You cannot move a person in a wheelchair without they being fully aware. One of the most important things is that you can the person can catch their fingers in the wheels, because they're not aware that the chair is going to move. Like if you begin to move, they can catch their fingers on the wheel. So you have to be careful. You have to be very, very mindful. And it seems that Meghan, with all her experience as a diplomat, with all her experience as a humanitarian, as a champion of women and girls, of an actress as well, we can add, with the royal family, as a humanitarian again with Archwell, with a podcast, it seems that, common sense is the less common of senses. You know how they say, wheelchair users slam the move as rude and disrespectful, with one saying their wheelchair is an extension of themselves. And what else we have here? Creepy stare and intense gaze is back. We have this kind of things that look staged, making sure that the paparazzis get that angle of her. And if it's not that, we also have, let me see, what was the other thing? That she was clinging to him. I think that is this is a bit of an outrage. But this is the thing. This is the thing. Thank you, Resting Dollface and Royally Sage, two of my favorite accounts, by the way, in terms of the royals. I didn't analyze this one on Sunday. What do you see here? What do you see here? First, Harry is leaning away from Meghan, and it's not the last time that he was leaning away from Meghan. And I have another one here. Let me look for it. I have another one. Which image as, and I can bring that image right here for your viewing pleasure. It was not the last time that Harry was leaning away from Meghan. Oh, it's in other moments. Harry was also, Harry, are you suffering from your back or something? Why are you leaning away from Meghan all those times? We don't know. Green line, Harry. Green line Harry saying that, okay, I'm so clean. Why would you have to do this? Why would you have to claim property of your man this way? Are you insecure? See my pet. Oh my God. Rebecca, somebody, you are spot on. See my pet. That is a nice caption for this picture. You're spot on. Oh my God. This is the kind of things we are not going to run out of moments to talk about the Duke and Duchess of Sausages. And that is the kind of thing that we need to decompress at the end of a long show. And my God, I don't know how did we reach to